Hey everyone, welcome back to Kettle Haven Ranch. I'm Steve, and today we're back at the compost pile to take a look at what's going on inside. What's so important about your muck pile? If you're going to use the finished product here in your garden, whatever is in here has a chance of getting into your food source, in your food supply. This comes from the chickens, from the lambs, from the pigs, and from the horses, all of their manure, basically the herbivores that we have on the property. They only get plant food and non-GMO at that, and we try not to spray as little as possible on our hay. So our pasture-raised animals here have very natural poop. I know, that sounds funny, doesn't it? But this is all going to go into the market garden this year. This is all fertilizer when it's all composted up. It's going to go in, and what we eat and what we sell and produce here on the ranch is going to end up growing in this stuff. So we don't want anything that has glyphosate in it, any of the forever chemicals. There's a whole list. I'll do some research here and put it up on the screen. There we go. As you can see by the pile, the very top doesn't have snow on it. It's all melted off. And there's actually a little bit of steam. I don't know if the GoPro is showing it, but we have steam coming out of the top. I have the REOTEMP Compost Thermometer. Let's go ahead and put that in and see what happens. We're starting at about 30 degrees, and it's climbing real quick. Alrighty, as you can see, the video, sorry, that's by hand reaching over the muck pile. But we're climbing right up. Definitely well up into the range. We're getting some good compost going. So even though it's early winter, we still have some pretty good heat coming out of here. Looking at about 125, 130 degrees Fahrenheit, which is more than enough to get the job done. So our manure pile consists of manure from the horses, the pigs, the sheep, and the chickens, plus their bedding. So any straw gets in there, that's wonderful. I also put sawdust and wood chips from our wood shop. That ends up out here also. As far as balanced, as far as testing it for the soil content and all the different components, I don't worry about that. It's all going to be great. It's all done. It goes into the garden space, gets incorporated in there. Chickens and pigs doing their job on top of that, adding some fresh stuff along with it. And it really helps to revitalize and regenerate our soil here at the ranch, which for many decades has been neglected. Not much has gone on here for putting inputs back into the soil, and it's mostly been taken and taken away from the property. So with regenerative farming practices, you try to avoid putting inputs. Inputs are things brought onto the property that we're pretty much spending money on and are typically not natural to the property. So fertilizer, a lot of the fertilizer nowadays, that's all petroleum based and that's all chemical based. We don't want that. This is much better to have material like this during the summer. During the late spring, during the early fall, we're able to have the livestock out in portable, temporary fencing. They clean up our fields, plus at the same time, they deposit fertilizer, which is regenerated back into it. It's a great program. The sheep, I call them my land piranhas because they are like that. They're voracious. They get in somewhere and they gobble everything down pretty quick. At the same time they're doing that, out the back comes all these beautiful pellets of fertilizer to get back into the soil. Pigs make a little bit more mess, but then the chickens come along behind them and dig it all up and spread it all about. So that's how we try to get around bringing in and fertilizing thousands of pounds of nitrogen on our fields. We do a lot of squash, we do a lot of pumpkins, a lot of zucchini, and that leftover we keep for right now. We're still feeding the pigs. They get chopped up fresh, well, as fresh as it can be, 4 months after harvest. Produce, and they love it. It's good for them. It helps supplement their non-GMO grains that they get in producing a product that is healthy and nutritious and not full of chemicals or full of antibiotics or anything unnatural. Before I get in the tractor and turn the pile here so you guys can see exactly how much heat's going on, how much steam's going to come out, I'd like to ask, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and ring the notification bell for future videos from Kettle Haven Ranch. Okay, at this point, I'm going to get the tractor going, change the camera angles, and we'll play with muck. Here we go. We hope everyone is staying safe and healthy. Take care.